Games together. It will be more of a Q&A session rather than just a talk. So I would really appreciate your active participation. So let's start with the easier question. Excuse me. Why there's no animation? Technical problem. Okay. No. Till it gets sorted, who plays lots of games in a single week, like lots of PS or Xbox or here's an honest frank champ. Who else? Two. Now you're coming forward. Who more? Tell me more about it. The rest you don't know what I'm talking about, I believe. Do you? Okay, what's your favorite game? My champion. I didn't get your name, sorry? Andrew. What's your favorite game? Sorry? You can pick one for now and I'll ask for more. FIFA? Okay, if we're talking war games, what would be your favorite? What's yours?
Halo.
Halo. Call of Duty. Okay. Anyone interested in war/strategy games, like tactic and strategy games? Huh?
I know a friend that plays it for his classic games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but like Samuel. Yeah. He's looking at that.
Okay. Anyone else interested in that type of games? Is it working? It's not? Pleasant news. Okay.
Sorry, guys. This is why sometimes my Mac does it. It's not doing a good job today.
Good.
Alright.
It's not? خلاص مش مشكلة. خلاص. طيب. So what's common among all those games? You will find the games, at least those I picked, you will find them all talking about warfare, strategy, acquisition and expansion, phases, and tactics. So, I'm going to take it out. Much better, right? Okay. So, warfare, this is exactly what we're talking about now. We are talking about a big game. A game of warfare, a game of strategy, a game of acquisition and expansion, and a game of phases and tactics. Okay. Okay. No escape. What's the difference between those two verses? Do you see any contradiction between those two verses? Let's read them together. And let's ask you to read the first.
Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone.
Fair enough. And can you kindly read the second?
For in that he himself has suffered. For in that he himself has suffered being tempted, he is able to help those who are tempted.
So the verse is talking about about God not being tempted by evil, and he doesn't tempt anyone. And the second is saying what apparently seems like the opposite. Can anyone tell me how's that happening? Like, I'll read them both again. Let no one say, when he is tempted, I'm tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, or he himself does not tempt anyone. On the second one it says, for in that he himself has suffered being tempted, he is able to help those who are tempted. So is he tempted or is he not?
I'm gonna say maybe St. Paul is talking about when Christ was tempted on the mountain, but then here St. James, he's saying about us, we shouldn't blame God when we are tempted. Something like that.
Yeah, and you were trying, and I encourage you for that. Any further thoughts? St. Paul is saying something, and St. James is saying something else. Are they loving each other or hating each other, or what? Are they giving the similar message? Are they completing each other, or they are contradicting? So please have a read and try to tell me your honest opinion. I don't need like good ideal answers, formal answers. What's your opinion? What's your take on it?
I think they're talking about two different things. I think the first thing is talking about us, that God doesn't doesn't tempt us. We're tempted by the devil, and the second thing is God Himself was tempted by the devil. I think they're talking about these are two separate things.
So when he says that he, for God cannot be tempted by evil, how is this different from for in that he himself suffered? What's the difference between both? Yes.
I'm just guessing, but I think the first one, he's talking about God as in God, the Trinity, God, yes. And then the second verse is when Christ manifest and he was in the fallen flesh, he still wasn't tempted. So he wasn't tempted.
Thank you very much, Carol. More or less, that's what I want you to remember. Well, God, in His supreme being, He is not falling under temptation by any means. But being the loving and caring God, He knew that we suffer from temptations. So in order to be like each one of us in every single thing, He accepted to be or to get to suffer from external attempts of temptation. This should make us feel happy, make us feel powerful, because God, who doesn't tempt anyone, and who we can't hold Him for any sort of temptation we fall in. Yani sometimes we say, it's a tribulation that God has sent. No, God doesn't tempt by evil. Let's be frank about that. But at the same time, He agreed to accept in His physical human body temptation as we are, so He can guide us through the way. Why I start with this intro? Because we're talking about warfare with an enemy, and we need to know who that enemy is. So, who's the enemy? Sure, if there was if we had animation tonight, you would have seen the devil's picture first, and then you would have seen the verse after, and then you've seen the punchline later on. So imagine that this all has happened. Okay, sorry for that. We're in fight. We're in warfare with a complete institution. Imagine the largest army in the world. Imagine all the Big 20, the armies of the Big 20 combined. And it's as strict as, it's as sharp as, and all of those doing nothing but fighting you. It's a war. It is a typical war, and please don't get mistaken about it. So in such a war, as we do in the strategy games, as we do in the warfare games, we need to plan. We need to understand better, and we need to take strategic steps in order to win this war. So first step is to know our enemy, and let's play a game. Okay? Can you start distributing the papers? Thank you very much. Yes, two per each. For the coming 5 minutes, I'll ask each couple to look up the biblical references you have in hand, and to try know or come up with one attribute of the devil from the verses you have. So only one attribute from each piece of paper. Okay. And we would end up with 8 different attributes. Okay. If you want to know our enemy, this is a great opportunity to explore it more. Hmm? So far, so good. Yeah. Sorry? Look up the verses and try to get from all the verses, from all the different biblical references, one attribute of Satan, one attribute of the devil. Okay? So who's reading group 1? Okay. No, yeah, read all the verses in your group. Read all the verses in your group. Because a couple of groups are a bit deceptive. You might think, you got the attribute, but when you read all of them, you would read it differently. You will receive a different message. Okay, who's done? Okay. Only you, so let's wait a little bit more. Thank you very much. I hope that your chats are about the text. So who's ready with an attribute? Not yet? Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So we can get started. Who has group 1? Again, you. Anyone else with group 1? Anyone else with G1? A paper of G1? Okay, so let's compare. Good, interesting. What's your attribute? Constant war, constant battle. What's yours? Huh? Teamwork. Teamwork and but okay, can you read us the verse, please? The couple of verses.
We had 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8, and it said, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." And then we had Daniel.
Then he said to me, "Do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, and behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left alone there with the kings of Persia."
So at least the latter talking about a fight that been going on continuously for 21 years between the troops of good and the troops of evil. the first snapshot I see from this, the devil is a fighter. A fierce fighter, not a normal fighter, okay? So, attribute number one, I wanted for you to notice, the guy is not joking. He's not enjoying his time. He's not doing it for fun. He's a fighter. Imagine a man of war, okay? That's our guy. Who has group 2? Okay, so what's your attribute? Yeah.
We would say that sorry, I was really nervous. We would say that like the devil's like jealous. Like jealousy.
Jealousy.
I'm not sure if that's right or wrong.
Okay, that's your opinion. What's yours?
We picked selectivity, so he selects his targets.
Selects. Okay, can you read me the verses, please? One verse from your group and the other from yours.
Yes. So.
That's my Bible. Yes.
So, 1 Peter. Okay. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour.
Roaring lion. Okay. He's a roaring lion.
We were thinking that.
Okay.
And then Job chapter 2 verse 7. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with painful boils from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. That's where I think we got jealousy from, because Job was...
Don't worry, jealousy will come. So there is jealousy. Okay, to save for the sake of time, here are the 8 groups. Please have a look and tell me if you can relate to those groups or not. If you can see in what you've read, I see high fives here. So what's your group? Yes. 4. And you did pick Laya? Yeah. Perfect. Anyone else? Any other groups who managed to pick a similar? Okay, yours. What's your group? 3. And you did pick cunning, smart, and clever. Okay. So our enemy is a fighter. Strong. He's cunning, smart, and clever. He's a liar and the father of it. He's insistent, very insistent. Who had group 5? I believe this was the hardest biblical reference, because it did include the very first attempt to tempt Lord Jesus, and then the very last one. The first one on the mount and the last one on the cross. He is very insistent. He keeps trying and trying till the very last breath. Cruel and brutal, accuser all day long, and jealous and envious. Let me add to what you've read in your groups. He's a war expert. He's the best psychologist. He's an opportunist and a dishonest enemy. Don't expect a fair game with when you're dealing with the devil and his troops. Do not expect a fair game. He is reading you as much better than you read yourself, and he's using that against you. Okay. So, to know his tricks, let's play another game. Now we know a bit more about him, and let's learn more about his tricks. Let's play the game of being the devil. You are the devil. Congratulations, you have been appointed as the helper of the devil today. If you are, I will share with you few scenarios, and I want the most creative ideas on how to make this subject fall into sin. Okay? What would you do? You remember what would Jesus do? Do you remember the band that we used to carry on saying what would Jesus do? WWJD? Yeah. Today we will play WWDD. Okay? WWDD. What would devil do? And let's start with scenario one. And I need creativity here. Carol, please. The most creative idea should get something, like should get an extra sandwich or a gift, something, please, okay? If possible. Thank you. So scenario number one, Marina hates gossip. Whenever she falls, she repents. She ran to Abuna for confession and set herself back on track. She doesn't hate anyone, but she keeps herself distant from gatherings of gossip. She even stopped going out with a friend of hers whom she initially liked because she talks about others. Marina is a very, very nice and decent young girl. So, you're the devil. Tell me creative ideas. Yeah. What would you do to one is
I have one.
the sign of the cross.
I have one.
Yes.
If I was the devil,
Yep.
I would put that person in their face 24/7. Like just in their face 24/7, and I'd make them around them constantly. Even if they're trying to keep away, I'd make that person follow them around.
Okay, so if I'm the devil, I'll pick this one girl she's trying to avoid and make her, that's a good idea. Let's, why?
I think if I can't even bear the thought of saying if I think he should probably put her in a service where she thinks she's doing the right thing, and then cause a problem where they need to talk about it, and then put someone in there that starts getting
And
personal
slip it in a bit by bit and into gossip. Give me your idea.
If I was the devil and Marina spent time on social media, I would have her see pictures of people hanging out and have her slowly feel like she's left out, even at church, like all her friends or people that used to be her friend that would gossip would be talking, and she would be left out constantly, so that she would start feeling like she's missing out.
So the distraction strategy. She's looking in one direction, gossip. Okay, let her fall in something else. I like that. Who has more devilish ideas? Yes.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I'll check it. No, that's okay.
Okay. We were saying we'd probably like make the gossip about her. So try to get her name involved in whatever gossip it is, so she kind of feels like she has to hear it. You know what I mean?
Personal interest. Okay. She has some meat in it. Oh yeah, it's my story. So okay. I leave you to judge. Which one's the most creative?
Okay. If I was a devil,
Yeah.
okay, I will let her totally believe that she's innocent, she's good, she's doing nothing wrong, and this is gonna slip her into different sin, which is to be, oh, I'm the perfect one.
Ego, pride. Yeah. Okay, it's perfect. Cunning. Okay. You want to talk about this?
I actually said the same thing. Pretty similar, yeah. Like have a like build up a big ego.
Well, that is why I speak a lot. I'm just teasing you, sorry. I'm just teasing. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. That was a good first attempt. Warm up. We have 3 more to go. 3 more to go. Ready? Scenario 2.
Fuck.
Is there a mark here? Hello, Mark. Talking about you. Don't consider gossip, okay? It's all good. Mark is a very dedicated person, especially to ministry at church. He's the first one you will see on a Sunday in the morning and the last week. He has a very nice voice as well. And he's an excellent deacon. Devil.
Did you know what devils already did with Marina? I'm gonna do extremely the opposite with Mark. You think you are perfect? You are not. Because you're spending time in the church and you're singing lovely voice, you're nothing. Are you thinking that you're nothing, like your thing? Yeah?
It won't cook, it won't fly, unless he does something really bad. He does something wrong. I have to make him fall first. Yes.
Okay, because he's the first one to get to church on the Sunday, I'd make sure something goes wrong with his car, so it doesn't turn on.
Okay. Something goes wrong with the car.
And I would make sure somehow he loses his voice and can't sing.
Or lose the voice. Okay, come late, lose the voice. Maybe add to it a bit of summer heat and a bit of angry family, so he would go out of temper. He wouldn't be Mr. Nice Mark anymore. He would rather be Mr. Angry Mark.
I would actually find like a way to slip him up the night before. Like a party, for example,
Party.
He is hungover, he lost his voice, he can't operate properly.
Yeah, it was my dearest friend and he needed some companionship, and out of Christian love I had to be with him, and we had to stay there till as early as we could, and when we returned back it was too late already. Yes.
I think everyone's thinking a little bit too short term. I'm thinking more like, he sounds like a really appealing guy. Maybe he gets into a relationship and the girl he's seeing is also very busy. So the only free time she has is, say, a Sunday morning. So he sacrifices.
Wow, that's mean. That's mean. I would raise my cap for that. That's mean. Get him a woman. Yeah. That's mean. Okay, I like that. Guys, you've got potential. Yeah, and you're very good. Scenario 3. Scenario 3. Jess. Do we have any Jess here? No Jess? Okay. Jess believes in reason. Everything is done for a logical reason, even our own lives. To Jess, God is the ultimate reason and power. He plans everything, he controls everything, and he is of limitless wisdom. He loves her as much and always care for her. Devil, what would you be doing?
I'd have someone that she cares about die.
Okay. As brutal as devil, yeah. And then? Who said so? By the when someone dies, she would think, okay, this is next phase in life. He's gone to the better place. I pray for him.
Like be someone young and someone where it's like there's no logical reasoning for this.
Not enough. You need to beef it up. You need to beef it up with more. No, all good, all good, all good. You need to beef it up. Yeah.
A world catastrophe happens where a lot of innocent children are, like massacred or something, and she can't understand the reason innocent lives are being, demolished and.
Pure, simple, innocent lives dying. Why would you allow that to happen, God? More powerful. Yes.
Once Joyce is believing that everything is done for a logical reason, so I'm gonna use this point, only this point. Like maybe reading more books about logical things, bit by bit stop believing by God because everything is logic. So it's a long-term strategy, but but it's gonna come. Not here, not right now.
Not an incident that would happen tomorrow. Let her start read more about science, and then science would go deeper into evolution, and evolution is all around us, and we can see it. And if evolution is real as it's said, then God is not real. It's a big bang. And
I'd probably just sort of start slipping into other people's minds, like genocide against Christianity, sort of bring back like the whole, I don't know, Hitler vibe in a sense.
Okay. Okay. That's a different take. Any ideas from this corner? Yeah.
I have a very dramatic one.
Yes,
I don't know exactly how to, but I'll put her in the position where she has to decide where the innocent lives die. To the left or right. Yeah, like the train track. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah,
Okay.
to decide whether the whole train or his son dies.
Movies are not giving anything to imagination, not leaving anything to imagination. Hey, I like it. What else? Any last ideas before we move to the final scenario?
She dates someone that's obviously doesn't believe in God. That's from a different
A
religion.
boy. Okay. So the trick last scenario was a girl, and now it's a boy. Yeah.
Yes, but she's so in love with him that she
I
starts
love him so much.
That she starts
He's the
to,
man
like,
of my dreams.
but like he starts to convince her, I'll learn about your faith, but she starts learning about like his faith and stuff, and then she starts being very like manipulated into it, and then she decides to
You know what?
obviously
I
convert.
trust him. I can trust him with my own life. How would he be wrong on about such a thing?
Because he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Family, this and that, but no,
Yeah.
she ends up
I'm starting to love him already. Thank you very much. Okay. So, a boy, a girl. Ready for the final scenario? Okay. I need you to get out your best bet. Yeah, this is the last one for tonight, okay? So, they call themselves the Hectics. A funny bunch. They love each other. They do everything in life together. They're super fun still, very responsible. They support each other, encourage each other to Holy Mass and stuff, and ask about one another regularly. Mr. Devil, what would you do?
Since they like to do everything together,
Yeah.
the night before the Mass,
Okay.
they go out clubbing. Clubbing and shisha.
Very, very obvious, Daniel. Daniel, very obvious. They would say no. Yeah, they're hyped and everything, but they would say no. Beef it up. How would you? Okay, let's take Daniel's approach and see how can we make it happen with such a holy group. How can we make this happen? Carol, want to say something?
Carol first, and then because I've got a different scenario.
Okay, look.
He would sow one or two youth from another, or one or two other, whatever, not that they're youth or anything, but into the mix, into the group. And then, you know, as they're growing up in that, some of them, one of them, you know, has this great idea to open up his own shisha cafe because he needs money. And then they all start helping him out and hanging out there. You know.
A bit too obvious still, but ماشي.
I have a different scenario completely.
But before Abraam tells the different scenario, any better adds to Daniel's idea? Better than Carol. It's a bit lame. You're my friend and everything, but it is a bit lame.
Considering that they're all guys. Oh, it could be girls as well. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Put some opposite genders in there so they can all fight for it.
Okay. Put some opposite gender so they would start fighting for it. Good. Better than Carol's, but still short term. Yes.
I would plant the seed of jealousy in between them. So even though they all go to church, but what if something's happening that's better in one of their lives than the other ones? And then they start to see, like, he has this, I want this. And then they start to fall apart slowly. And then it continues on till they die.
Yeah, my dad moved to a better job and we're moving houses and now we're living in a 3-story building rather than 1 or 2 and could work a bit by bit.
This one's a little bit morbid, but like, what if they're all in the car together going to church and they get in an accident? The driver, one of their friends, was like too tired to drive, but he didn't say anything. And one of the guys gets like paralyzed or something, and then they all turn on each other.
Mean. Okay, yours. I haven't forgotten about it.
This is a tough one.
Okay.
But homosexuality, bring it into it.
Okay. I'm not sure how it would end up like that, but maybe, yeah.
I was gonna say, let's say for example, one gets a university offer in interstate. The other one has to travel overseas. You know, the other one's gonna, you know, like they all graduate and they go about their separate ways. Now, exactly.
Okay. Fakeshhom is a good idea. Yours.
You make it jealous for
Jealousy. Back to the jealousy.
each other.
Okay.
Yeah, and make it fighter
And make them fight.
yeah.
حلو كلام. بس was this your idea? What you've just said are you trying to add to Daniel's, or this what you wanted to say in the first to say in the first place? Thank you. Perfect. Yes, you.
I think it's going off jealousy as well, but usually in big groups, like there's always 2 people that are close, and then like there's always like kind of groups within the groups. So if like each 2 people kind of begin to fight with each other, and like, how do you say it, like the Satan will make you ama benhom, so they all start fighting with each other.
Okay, good. Guys, congratulations, you're perfect devils. Let me just point a couple of points here. The most creative ideas were not the short-term ones, if you notice, but the longer-term ones. Let's slip in someone, a girl, a boy, an outsider. Let's do it a bit by bit. Let's make the change. The diversion games. Okay, she's nice on gossip. Let her fall in something else. He's good on his routine. Punch it more, push it more, so it becomes pride or ego, and so on and so forth. So it's never straightforward. The good games are never straightforward. And you have made an excellent analysis to most of the tricks and the games of devil back to our own selves. Please remember that when you personally fall into temptation, okay? After the 4 scenarios, let me share with you a few keys to win. All starts with your own minds. So if you think it, believe it, you'll do it. And if you know that you can win, if you trust the promises of God deeply from your heart, you will win. Yes, He is the most cunning, He is the fiercest, He is a fighter, He is all what we've said before, but you're the Son of God. You're the prince or the princess. You're the royal. And as much as you know that, not just by theoretical knowledge, but by practice, you practice being a heavenly royal family member, you're royal. He can touch you. Don't be afraid. Luke 10:18. I saw Satan fall, and I'm safe كويس, to earth like lightning from heaven. He's the fallen. Yes, he has his powers because he was chief of deacons, an archdeacon, but he's the fallen. So you don't be afraid of him. Fight back. Resist the devil, as the verse says. It's not done. You're not defeated. Even if you lost a couple of battles, the war is still on. You're still alive and kicking. It's not the end of the game yet. Same back to the games that we talked about at the very beginning. You lose a level, you win a level, you get this piece of land, you lose that piece of land, and at the end, who's the overall winner? Fight with humility, the Word of God, faith, prayer and fasting, as cliche as it sounds, but it is the main tool, and tap into counseling. We have dedicated priests, very, very spiritual, skilled in the spiritual warfares, who are ready to help and support, and who have open minds and hearts to hear whatever you would say and think it through with you, with the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So with that said, I believe I concluded my house of tonight. Happy to have any questions. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John, for a wonderful talk, and the interaction. It was great. Thank you very much. So for today's announcements, we've got a couple of announcements. The first one being the annual function for St. Abraam is on the 13th of June. If anyone wants to serve, please let Andrew and Nassim know. And if anyone wants to come see Nat, she'll organize something for you. The second announcement is the ski trip. With the ski trip, guys, if you're on the group chat, please, or if you're coming, please be wary of the group chat. A lot of announcements are going through the group chat. Always answer, pay your money on time. So we've requested that everyone pays another $500 for the ski trip, only because we want to buy the tickets. So please, guys, don't be slow with this, so we can get a move on and we don't miss out. Yeah, that's the ski trip. There's a couple spots left for females and males. So if you're interested, see me or Abunapur after, and we'll be able to sort you guys out. Southwest Sector Youth Meeting is next week, so it's a combined youth meeting with a couple churches. It's going to be here at St. Abraam. That'll be next Friday. following the St. Abraam revival. So it's St. Abraam's feast. With the revival, it starts on Wednesday to Friday. The theme of the revival is salvation. On Wednesday, there's going to be a debate and then a talk by Father Paul. After that is State of Origin. So New South Wales versus Queensland footy. It will be streamed here. So if you guys want to come along, that'll be awesome. There's also basketball and food
by a video link from
afterwards. So if you guys want to join us for that. There's also, I think, the flyers out there. So if you guys want to go hang around there. And it's Abuna Paul and Bishoy Abdul Nasser's birthdays. So if you guys see them, just say happy birthday. Yeah, send up prepare, please. All right, see you guys then.